Back once again. I'll make sure that worked properly. See if some folks come in here. Welcome. Welcome to the Sly Boy Palace. All right, the new spot. Glad to have you. Welcome to my home. Glad you're here. Who do we have? Zombie. Good to see you again. Space Girl, hello. Presley, hello. Sorry, I might be a little bit retarded on chat. Sorry to drop an R word right off the bat. That's my bad. But my monitor for chat is farther away than it was in the last house. I'm going to get a completely different monitor right here that's going to be dedicated just to chat. But for now, y'all's messages are a little bit tiny for me, so I might be doing a little bit of squinting. Never clicked so fast. Fuck yeah. The Corvette shirt, yeah. This was in honor of my grandfather's shirt. God rest his soul. I wear it in memory of him. Man, it's almost 3 a.m. I wanted to sleep. You ain't got to stay up on my behalf. I think he beat the allegations low-key. Okay, well, let's find out. So, yeah, let me explain what is going on today. Explain my my method of operations here, okay? So, as fans of the channel know, oh, hold on. I just got distracted. My dad got a few and owned a C4 for a long time. That's really cool. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Okay. So some of you may know, I covered the Turkey Tom allegations a week ago. I left it a little bit vague because I felt like it was really weird the way the information got disseminated. I thought there were a lot of very frivolous allegations, which made the entire thing feel like a joke. But then buried far, far within there were some actually really, really serious ones. Then Turkey Tom has now responded to the allegations. And I will say, right off the bat, the first thing that strikes me is he has adult hair now. Funny how that works. You get hit with a couple allegations, all of a sudden you have an adult man's haircut. A couple allegations will really make a man out of you. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the Turkey Tom that I'm used to. I don't know why this picture's like 2 pixels by 2 pixels, but this is the last I looked, Turkey Tom had hair like this. Guy hit with the allegations, boom. Grown man hair. So I think that's a really interesting move right off the bat. But anyway, another point I'll bring up. Also, I feel like I naturally lean this way and this whole shit just does the wrong thing. All right, let me. Am I doing this correctly? Yeah. No, I am not. Okay, amateur hours back. There we go. Fuck. Me in the middle. The other thing I will say off the bat is that at the end of this video that I put out, I mentioned Kai, Turkey Tom's ex's response to the other 2 girls' allegations. And I didn't go over that in detail because I said I wasn't able to actually trace that to the original account that posted it. All I was seeing was just like drama Twitter accounts basically sharing this. So I wanted to actually confirm that. I have now been contacted by someone I believe to be Kai, Tom's ex, who DM'd me and was just like, hey, someone forwarded me your video and said that you didn't know. So I just wanted to let you know this is me. I posted this. Here's the original post. And I do believe that account is, in all likelihood, actually Kai. So just for the sake of going over something I haven't gone over before, I wanted to go through this, the thing she posted really quick. I know other channels have covered this last week, so this might be old news to some people, but I wanted to do that really quick before jumping into the response, just to set the stage here. Anyway, let me just touch in with chat really quick and see what people are saying. Again, of course, chat is like hopping the one time where y'all are on a tiny ass screen for me. Why would anyone go to 4chan first to expose someone? That's what I don't understand. Not 4chan, Kiwi Farms. And I don't understand that either, which is something I brought up in my original video. Nice mustache, thank you. There was a campaign to have me be rid of it, but you guys made your voices heard. For the time being, the mustache stays. Let me see here. Lately, besides you, Sly, a lot of commentary channels immediately jump on the wagon to shit on Turkey Tom just to milk it without providing any good information. I think that's the frustration I have, and a lot of people also seem to have with YouTube in general, is like everything's like the number one motivator is content for everybody. So new allegations drop. It doesn't really matter what they are. It's just meat in the water. And so it's like an opportunity to get a lot of clicks. And then just because of the way that machine works and the momentum behind it, if you come out with a video that's like, these allegations, I don't know. You know, like if you come out with a video at all that's like, this might be a little undecided of an issue, you open yourself up to that same click machine being like, Sly Boy defended Turkey Tom, the rapist, or whatever, you know? So it's just kind of like by the kind of like just the way aggregate human nature works kind of encourages people to bandwagon on allegations, unfortunately. That being said, you know, I left the video that I had kind of undecided because I felt like the case was undecided. We'll see. It from the few people I saw, this thing over here, this response seemed to have turned some of the tides. I don't know how much of the tides. I will also say, just for clarification, I have not seen a second of this video. So this is completely fresh to me. Okay, so just let me, bear with me while we go over this situation first here with Kai. So this is Kai. This is the girl that he dated for a while. Supposedly the breakup of which, that was a really poorly worded sentence. Supposedly the girl he broke up with, which caused kind of some of more of his toxic personality traits to kind of bubble over into the relationships with the other girls who had the allegations. She says, my name is Caitlin/Kai. I dated Turkey Tom on and off between August 2020 and November 2023, ages 17, 20/21, for about 3 years total. Here are a couple of pictures of us that I don't think I posted previously, but regardless, you can see we are the same person based on this recent photo of me. This is something I thought I would never have to respond to. I spent over 2 years going out of my way, avoiding addressing any of the claims made about me or my relationship. I even privated all my social media for a long time because I never wanted to be a spectacle for people to poke at intimate details of my life for their own entertainment. Given recent events, however, I feel a sense of responsibility to say something. Tom and I had a very mutually toxic relationship, and yes, we both cheated on each other online. That's really gay to cheat online. All right, be an adult, cheat in real life. Sorry, I'll keep my thoughts out of this for now. This behavior isn't good for either of us, but are private matters that don't in any way deserve to be blasted on the internet by me, and I would never feel the need to put that out to the world by my own choice. Unfortunately, it's been made public against either of our wishes, so I thought I would acknowledge it. Now to my experience with Tom in relation to the serious allegations being made by former partners. There is a lot of information being shared that I find to be extremely unnecessary, with the driving motivator to humiliate him. So this is kind of the gist of what it was she's ultimately kind of backing him up while also saying, hey, I haven't been around him the last year, so I don't know, it's possible he could have become unhinged. I find this behavior to be abhorrent and will not address any minor anecdote about him that doesn't carry emotional relevance. I really need to stress that this is just my experience, and he may have acted differently with girls who he was involved with after me. I am not undermining anyone's experiences and don't wish to speculate on their credibility. I will directly reply to him as a partner overall at the end. In regards to recording sexual encounters, the few times we did record anything, it was either with explicit permission beforehand or an established consent based on previous conversations in our long-term relationship. It wasn't really a frequent thing that happened, mostly before we started living together and were long distance. There are a lot of things we did where I look back and shake my head because my standards for myself have really changed so much since then, but everything was always consensual between us. There were a few instances where I became uncomfortable with an encounter and he was understanding and would not continue after I voiced my discomfort. I don't think this is an allegation being made about him, but I wanted to stress that nothing in the bedroom that was rough or aggressive ever translated to domestic interactions. Domestic violence is what she's hinting at, which she's wrong about that. Maybe she probably didn't look super in detail into the allegations. She told me she didn't really watch my video, but wanted to reach out because someone had forwarded it to her and wanted to clarify just the fact that this was in fact her. But that's basically the gist of the allegations. And also the problem with the allegations at the same time was they wanted to kind of say it was domestic abuse without saying it. I guess for legal reasons, because the girls multiple times were like explicitly stated, I'm not accusing him of anything illegal, right? There are a lot of negative things to say about Tom, but he was always surprisingly patient and never did so much as yell at me. I never once felt fearful of him when he was angry the entire time we were in a relationship, which included living together for 6 months. There has been a message circulating claiming that Tom and I participated in age play, which is just a blatant twisting of the truth. Tom definitely romanticizes power dynamics and heavy dom sub stuff, but that was never expressed through age-related dynamic role-playing. It's clear he has a type for Sanrio mentally ill e-girls. But I can't say from my experience that it was ever pedophilic in nature. The person I knew between the years of 2020 and 2023 was not into those things. After all that, I wouldn't know. It is true that Tom has a blackmail folder on me consisting of phone recordings and text messages. I've known about it for a very long time because he told me. We were messy as fuck, okay. I have never had any intentions of speaking about him publicly, but I did decide to be evil after one of the times we broke up and tell him I was going to ruin his career because he was ignoring me. Eesh. And I knew it would freak him out. That is the thing. So I will say, just to interject here, people acting like the blackmail folder was like some big bombshell. Those people may not have dated the quote Sanrio mentally ill e-girl types before. I don't want to go into detail on that because that's dicey territory. But like, yeah, if anything would convince me to keep a blackmail folder, it would be someone saying that they're going to like spin up a story to ruin my career, which, as far as I know, also the blackmail folder isn't like covertly acquired information. Just like if your girl texts you a slur and then is gonna try and ruin your career over something similar at some point or something along those lines, you know, I don't know. Maybe keep the screenshot, especially if they're explicitly telling you they're going to do that. So like, yeah, I get his concern, even though I've clarified a million times I would never do that. This was extremely shitty of me, and I'm embarrassed to admit it publicly, but without this context, it looks far worse than it is. I do not feel at all fearful about him leaking anything private related to me in response to this, because I think I've been very respectful, along with everything being the truth. Tom, as a person, is extremely flawed, and I'm disappointed to see he is still generally self-centered around sex as an act. Our relationship really fucked me up for a while, and certain things still affect me negatively. According to what some have said, it goes both ways. Most of the things that hurt me about our relationship don't have much crossover with what other people have said about him, so I don't feel relieved that I can still maintain some privacy in a sense. Oh, excuse me. So I do feel relieved that I can still maintain privacy in some sense. We literally met as minors, and it's still the longest relationship I've been in. You don't date someone for 3+ years if you think they are an irredeemable piece of shit. I've never known him to be a person capable of these things, but everyone who has spoken up about him has been. I'm dyslexic as hell. That's actually a lie. My mom told me I'm not. But everyone who has spoken up about him has been after we broke up, so I just couldn't know. As sad and angry as he's made me feel, I've never thought him to be heartless or sadistically cruel, just someone who has a lot of issues. All I have is my own experience to use as my guideline for what I think is true, but others shouldn't take it as gospel above someone else's testimony. I apologize for my brevity, as I only want to give pointed answers to avoid... Man, she's really kind of spitting a word salad here. Pointed answers to avoid relaying intimate details about my sex life with an ex. I do not want to come across like I'm exposing Turkey Tom. I just felt morally inclined to share my experience about certain things since people have been wanting to specifically hear what I had to say. I don't think there's any need for follow-ups. I've said everything I wish to comment on. I hope I can just go about my life without this constantly coming up because we've been broken up for so long now. Okay, cool. So there's that. So she's also on the opposite end of the spectrum, kind of coming to his defense without coming to his defense. Like, his accusers are kind of accusing him of extremely illegal shit without accusing him of extremely illegal shit. And she's kind of vouching for his character without vouching for his character. So nobody's saying anything with their full chest in this situation. Neon Nico girls now, shut the fuck up. Anyway. So all right, let's actually get into the response now. The number one thing that I would want him to address is this, which I touched on in my original video, which I also feel was like so lightly touched on in the original allegations. But if this is true, this is the big one, at least in my view. Which is, so this is the first girl who alleged things, conversation with her and her roommate, getting her roommate to give a statement for a police report. And the roommate says, Sacramento, which is the, redacted name of the girl in question, shared with me one evening that during sexual transactions with Thomas, she would vocally exclaim that he was being too aggressive and that he was hurting her, and that he would disregard what she was saying and proceed to engage with the transaction, even after she'd pleaded for him to stop because she was in pain. I also remember there was mention of bleeding due to intense aggression during such transactions. So that sounds like an explicit call to stop a sexual encounter that was ignored, which is rape, right? So that's the big one right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Turkey Tom.
I'm sorry that this response took so long. I wanted to make sure I had all the facts.
And I don't have my headphones on. Hold on. Here we go.
I'm sorry that this response took so long. I wanted to make sure I had all the facts together before saying anything. Recently, I've been accused by an ex-girlfriend, along with an ex-partner, of non-consensually filming sexual encounters, being so rough and inconsiderate during sexual encounters that it bordered on assault, encouraging eating disorders, being into age play, along with a litany of other completely baseless, false accusations. The two women who are accusing me...
So I will say, off the bat, this is what I like to see in a response. He came out with a thesis statement. It was strong, and it was explicitly denying certain things, which is not something you see a lot in these responses. I'm not saying this to be like, oh, he's innocent. All right, obviously, I'm 10 seconds into the video. But usually you get like a whole lot of wishy-washiness, a lot of humming and hawing and sighing, having puppies in your arms to garner sympathy and stuff like that, and then a lot of just like vague platitudes. So it sounds like he's going to actually explicitly address stuff, which is really good for all parties involved.
Sacramento 89, real name Rowan, and Left 4 Dead, real name Katie, took to gossip forum Kiwi Farms to post the accusations, along with carefully cherry-picked screenshots to back up their claims. These claims aren't super difficult to debunk just because of the overwhelming amount of evidence I have on my side. So without further ado, let's start with Sacramento, or Rowan. This is a girl I dated for about 7 months, from May of 2025 until January 10th of 2026. 4 days later, she made her first post. Here, she alleges that I am a real freak and like to, quote, record sexual encounters without asking for consent. This is blatantly untrue. I have never recorded any sexual encounter without explicit consent. As a matter of fact, with Rowan, she was the one who initiated the idea of filming sex acts in the first place. On Tuesday, August 19th, after 3 months of knowing each other and being sexually active, Rowan texted me saying, "You should get those Meta glasses when you crack me." I responded by saying, "For what?" And she answers again, "Cracking time," alluding to me filming her with the glasses onboard camera. Now, at the time, I did not feed into this. I did not show enthusiasm. I didn't even agree to get the glasses. I just responded and said, "Good night, sweet dreams." So 1 whole week goes by without us talking about it whatsoever, and then on August 25th, Rowan texts me saying, "You should get those Meta things for real." So I respond by saying, "I think I'm going to avoid filming anything involving sex for a while," showing that I am clearly not the person interested in filming our sexual encounters. She is. As you can see in the text, even when I say I don't want to film us having sex,
He kind of glossed over the given recent events thing. I think I'm going to avoid filming anything involving sex for a while given recent events. I wonder if this is like during the Destiny thing, where Destiny was outed for exchanging revenge porn, I think is technically the wrong word, but filming sexual encounters and then sharing them with other people without people's consent.
Encounters. She is. As you can see in the text, even when I say I don't want to film us having sex, she pushes the issue. Now, to be clear, we did eventually take videos of ourselves being intimate, but I was given explicit consent every single time. And on a few occasions, she even took the phone out of my hand and was holding it while filming us. To be clear, there was never a tripod or a hidden camera. It was always handheld, and in every single video, she was clearly aware of the camera, making eye contact with the camera lens. Also, on September 8th, Rowan texts me, "I do miss it though," in regards to our sexual interactions. She follows it up by saying, "Send the videos." Keep in mind, these are videos that she claims in present day were taken without her consent. She then goes on to say, and I quote, "I will watch them and keep them close to my heart," clearly indicating she has no problem whatsoever with them existing. I'm an extremely paranoid person when it comes to my personal life and my sex life and my dating life. As a public figure, I just like to keep my private life private. So I was very hesitant to send Rowan any sexual video.
Imagine watching a Slyboy stream and complaining about Slyboy yapping. Who's complaining about me yapping? I'm going to punish you by yapping more. This is like pretty. The receipts are coming pretty strong right out of the gate. I changed my mind. I had a point I was going to bring up, and then fake fans complaining about me yapping. It got under my skin. Made me forget what I was going to talk
we had
about.
taken. However, I did send her one single still image from one of the videos where my face is obscured. I guess there was some lingering thought in the back of my mind that if her accounts were not locked down super well, and if she had been hacked, then the videos could have been made public. Now, there's an implication she makes a few different times that I'm basically blackmailing her with these videos.
Somebody asked if you had any intention of getting any sort of like law enforcement involved, but I feel like you answered this where you just want to try to compel him to delete whatever he has on you, and that's like like the extent of your interest.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, I don't know. I'm kind of confused about what to do, but we'll see.
At no point anywhere did Rowan provide any proof of me threatening to release these videos of us having sex, or threatening to send them anywhere, so she has no reason to believe that I would ever release them. The idea that I, a person who makes a living as a public figure, would publicly release videos of me fucking my ex-girlfriend to get back at her is so insane. Not only would that incur reputational harm beyond belief, but also serious legal consequences. The only person who has ever sent an image of us having sex to anyone is, ironically, Rowan. Days after I broke up with her, she, without my consent, sent the only image she has of us having sex to the owner of Kiwi Farms. Here, listen to him describe it.
Oh, and one other thing, I forgot about this, but you actually, Sacramento had sent me a picture that was like censored. Apparently the only picture that he would send you is one where his face isn't clearly visible in it, but you can,
Yes.
I can tell the desk, like his computer is moved onto the table, but I can still see like the monster is like on the cozy that's like on the table, like in the exact same position. So I can tell that's clearly his desk.
I guess I just find it ironic that someone who's accusing me
I had not gathered from the original interview that was like a intimate photo. That's a little unclear, but he seems to be saying it is,
blackmail.
that's pretty insane. Send it to the fucking Kiwi Farms guy. Which also, sorry, more yapping incoming. I'm gonna address the Kiwi Farms thing because I got a little bit of pushback on some interesting points related to the Kiwi Farms thing. So this guy who was in the interview that he just played that from apparently is the owner of Kiwi Farms. Okay. I got like a strangely sizable amount of people commenting or like hitting me up on Twitter after my video on the Turkey Tom allegations, being like, people are saying this is like a well-researched video, but he didn't even know that fucking, I don't know, I've forgotten his name. Our boy was the owner of Kiwi Farms. And I think that kind of encapsulates for me most of my problems with this series of allegations, which is the people with Kiwi Farms have almost like an admiral level of self-importance. Because let me tell you what my knowledge of the owner of Kiwi Farms is. When I brought up the interview that the owner of Kiwi Farms conducted of the two girls who are alleging things, I introduced him as a YouTuber known as blank. I've forgotten the name of the YouTube channel. Okay? And then all these people were hitting me up like, this guy doesn't know that he's the owner of Kiwi Farms. Correct. I do not. I will say, I knew he was involved with Kiwi Farms. I knew he was in a place of power at the Kiwi Farms HQ, okay? The reason I brought him up as a YouTuber by the name of blank is because that's all he is to me. I don't, like, you guys are acting like Kiwi Farms is the UN or something. I don't view that as relevant to the story whatsoever. So there's that. Just for the Kiwi Farms people who seemed to view that as like a gotcha, was crumbling my entire video. The fact that I didn't know your boy was the owner of Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms is nothing to me. Anyway, Just wanted to say that. Just wanted to take the opportunity to say that because I did see a number of people responding. And I was like, I'm not going to engage with this, but there you go. There's a clip. So, free clip.
Her with her nudes, literally sent a picture of us having sex to a man that she has never met. Now, Josh recounts seeing this image and talks about how hard it looks like I was grabbing Rowan on the mouth, essentially using it as evidence to support another claim she makes that I am too rough during sex, which I find very interesting because after I sent Rowan this photo, she texted me saying, I like when you cover my mouth like that. Again, she texts me asking me to send her the videos, and she says, yeah, whenever you're not locked in, send the videos. It will fix me for about a week. Goon sesh. This is clear evidence that she has no problem with these videos existing. To this day, she has provided zero proof that the videos were recorded non-consensually, or that I was blackmailing her with them, or that I had any intention of sending them to anyone. Reason being, I never did any of those things. In Rowan's interview, she claims that I never asked for consent to film these sex acts, and says that she wouldn't notice I was filming until 30 seconds to 1 minute into it.
I'm not sure of an exact date, but maybe like 2 or 3 months into.
Sorry, I'm just going to pause it for a second to touch in with you guys. He is really coming with the receipts so far. I want to like digest this thoroughly to make sure he doesn't like gloss over something important. But so far, he's kind of dismantling a lot of the stuff. Sly, you should make this live public later so it can be a follow up. I'm not gonna members only this one. This one will stay up, and then I'll probably do a video just recapping some of this, and plus if I have like further comments later on.
Our relationship, he never asked me. He would just pull out his phone and record, and
Wait, sorry.
I wouldn't notice.
Wait. Hold on. Sorry, this just got derailed for a quick second. Hey, Slyboy, Alec here. When I said that I could consent to an adult woman when I was adolescent, I meant she wouldn't be a predator taking advantage of me. I meant I could have consented. Yeah, that's what I gathered. Alec, is that not what I represented in my incel video? Who's Alec? Alec is who's Alec? You guys need to get educated. Alec's the only the second-hand man, leading general of the Incel Protection Force. Alec, genuinely, Alec, I felt like I thought that's basically what I portrayed. Was it not? See if he responds. Also, Alec, I am going to touch in with Darth again. We're trying to set something up. I would definitely like to see it happen. So you can report that to the head honcho. All right, he didn't follow up. But appreciate you for clarifying that, Alec. I just didn't. I thought that's kind of what I portrayed as your viewpoint. Sorry if you feel like it was something else. Anyway.
Till maybe 30 seconds in a minute or a minute into it.
Now, I obviously can't and would never show these videos to anyone, but in them, it's undeniable that she is staring directly into the camera from the moment the video starts. She never once questions why I'm filming or what I'm doing, because the reality is that every single time we recorded, I had explicit permission. Ask yourself, how could she possibly have never consented to filming when she's literally holding my phone next to her face as she sucks my dick? In the interview, she says that what really concerns her is that I wouldn't send her any of the sexual videos we took.
I had asked him multiple times if he could please send me the videos, so like he's not the only one who has videos of me naked. And he either ignored the question or was just like, no.
As I said earlier, I was paranoid to send these videos to anyone, even her, for fear of them leaking. Weirdly, in messages at the time, she seems to actually get it, saying, I want to see them videos, goon time, before following up by saying that she actually understands why I'm scared to send them to her. Now we're going to fast forward to October 17th in our text, and Rowan says,
I hadn't even thought about that, but that does make sense. as like a semi-famous person to be like, oh, I want to record some stuff. And then she's like, I want you to send it me. And it's like, look, it's a big liability for like me as a public person to have stuff floating around. Maybe you view that as shitty. I think if that's like an understood arrangement, it's pretty understandable.
Do you ever go back and watch our videos? And I reply, yes, I do sometimes, actually. Rowan responds that she's thinking about that right now, and then says, quote, need that big white cock. It's also kind of strange to me that at the time she referred to them as our videos, but in the present, she's claiming she doesn't even want them to exist. On November 6th, Rowan asked me why I never ask her for nudes. I say I have a bunch of videos already, and that's why. She does not express that she has a problem with me having the videos. She doesn't complain about it. She doesn't say they were taken without her consent. In fact, throughout the entire relationship, she was sending me nude photos of herself unsolicited every single month. Why would you send nude photos of yourself to someone you think could use them against you? Rowan personally posted dozens of screenshots of our texts, and not a single one shows her bringing up any of the videos being non-consensual. Another interesting fact is that during our breakup, she texted me a pros and cons list, which she apparently had written about me on January 4th of 2026. And in the cons section, she complains about a lot of things, but she doesn't mention non-consensual videos whatsoever. With that out of the way,
Hold on. Computer enhance. Dry and vague, rarely compliments me, doesn't leave his house, online all the time. That checks out. Talks to other women lustfully in front of me. Damn. That's rough. Follows OF girls, no romance. Sent dick pics to Belle Delphine. Oh, copycat. Belle Delphine copycat. Okay, not the OG. Still. Sex is all about him. Ran through. Looks up to Sam High. Said he likes hurting me during sex even when I bleed. See, that's getting into the other stuff. But also, this girl also said she was into it, but in quote, in hindsight, it was not okay. Which, yeah, in my view, if people are bleeding, that's probably not a healthy thing. Seems self-obsessed, doesn't ever talk about us, doesn't seem to care about my goals at all. Everything is all about him. I do the bare minimum, therefore you're not allowed to feel upset. Okay, what are the pros? Sweet sometimes, dates are nice, tries to make it work. Funny, pays for meals, makes me secure muscles. Damn. Cheated on ex, follows his friends around like a dog, seems depressed all the time. Okay. All right. Okay.
He had written about me on January 4th of 2026. And in the cons section, she complains about a lot of things, but she doesn't mention non-consensual videos whatsoever. With that out of the way, we can move on to Rowan's claim that I was sexually abusive towards her. In that same pros and cons list, Rowan wrote, says he likes hurting me during sex and making me bleed.
Good.
This also reflects her public claims about me, but the great irony is that I never even said this. She did. On September 14th, 2025, Rowan sent me a text saying, quote, I'm such a freak. I like when it hurts and bleeds after. Something Wong. And one of her public-facing...
Okay, so this does match up with her testimony itself, and I can't pull up the exact timestamp, but I do know I went over this in my original video, where she said, I grew to be okay with it and even told him that I liked it, but in hindsight, it was definitely not okay. Which it's like... In a sense, yeah, it's like kind of no matter who you are, if your girl's bleeding after sex, like that's something's not right with that. But also, I don't know, to what degree are women to be treated as adults where they're explicitly like pursuing something and saying they're into it? Just a question. That's all it is. I don't know. I think there's a decent amount of gray area in all of this. That's what I'll say from what I've gathered so far.
posts about me, she posts an interaction which reads as follows. She says, quote, like, we don't need to do it 3 times in one day or do it so hard I hurt and bleed. And I said, well, if you don't want to have as much sex, we don't gotta. We can do other things. And she says, okay, I like doing other things too. The way this screenshot is cropped, it comes across like I'm some, just super callous freak who's brutally jackhammering her vagina like Steve mining diamonds. But in the full uncropped screenshot, her immediate response to me after that...
Said like Steve mining diamonds. Okay. Sorry.
Is mining diamonds. But in the full uncropped screenshot, her immediate response to me after that is, I'm a freak. I say this, and as soon as I see you, I'm going to be freaky again. I can't resist. In the interview, she elaborates on this even more, specifically claiming that she would bleed almost every time we had sex.
Okay, and you would bleed the
Yes.
same? And you didn't stop?
Yeah, I would bleed almost every time.
This is just blatantly untrue as well, and it's easy to see by going through our text messages. On August 17th of 2025, the day after my birthday, Rowan and I were planning to go to Mass, and she wanted to have sex with me. So she texted me saying, Tom, I started my period. I was driving, so I couldn't say much, but I replied by saying, that sucks, I'm 40 minutes away. She follows up by asking me if I mind getting my sword bloody, and I say I'll be okay. So if it wasn't already clear, she's asking me if I'm okay with getting blood on my dick. Why would this be something she's even asking if every time we have sex, I'm making her bleed? Keep in mind, this is months into us going out and being sexually active, and she's still worried that the idea of bleeding during sex would gross me out. Now, as soon as she began posting about me, people were naturally perplexed by her claim that she was bleeding from sex every single time. They asked if she had some kind of medical problem, and she says, I have no health issue that I know of, never bled during sex before, it was the aggression. Just gave into it after a while and told him I liked it, but I bled after almost every single time. I feel like most of this statement has already been dispelled, but even the smallest detail of no medical condition that I know of is also false. On September 24th of 2020...
This fucking community. Can we watch Neon Nico Girls after this slide? Pretty please. Holy shit. Fine. 1 episode. Then you gotta go to bed, okay? Damn.
25, Rowan texted me saying that she's going to switch from her current birth control, Nexplanon, to the pill because she has month-long periods that cause her to bleed. So, regardless of sex, Rowan admittedly bleeds for an entire month at a time. One of Rowan's main criticisms is that I'm too rough. In fact, she describes our sexual interactions as intense, violent aggression every single time.
I genuinely did think that he would maybe change and stop being so aggressive, because he told me before that he would kind of chill out, but he never did chill out, and it kept being the same very intense, violent aggression every single time.
She also alleges that I hit, choked, and beat her without asking, essentially painting me as an abusive partner.
Unfortunately, I did still stay with him, and I know a lot of people seem to have a lot of questions about that, and honestly, you were completely correct to question my judgment as to why I stayed with him, even though he was, hitting and choking and beating me.
There's this idea she's trying to paint that in the relationship, I was constantly pushing this rough, violative sex onto her, and even though she didn't like it and was being abused, she stayed with me. I've seen some people question her saying things like, well, if you hated it, why didn't you just leave? But realistically, sometimes people do stay with abusive partners, and I don't want to invalidate their stories through my response. The real reason that she didn't leave is because she loved having sex with me, and throughout our entire relationship was constantly begging me to validate her fantasies. In this first screenshot here, she expresses that she is a real freak and says that she wants me to kidnap her, even saying, I want to be tied up, taken to the woods, and pounded, so maybe there's something wrong with me. I respond by saying that we should not have sex in the woods, and she says, you nervous? Right here in this next one, Rowan says, I yearn to be manhandled and led across a dark room. That's why I like you. I reply saying, you are like a dungeon person, and she says, you are big like a caveman and I feel small next to you. In fact, anytime I wanted to have more loving, slow, sensual intercourse with Rowan in the bedroom, she actually had a problem with that. I remember once...
Huh, interesting. Trash, thanks for the $5. Appreciate you. I'm gonna act like the scene from Nico Girls when she got rabies. When I get bit by a squirrel, I want to befriend. Okay. That's so great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't think I've gotten to that scene yet, so could give me a spoiler alert or something. Damn.
Specific instance where I was being more slow and sensual, and I remember her whispering in my ear saying, "I want you to pound me." And that's probably why on June 5th, 2025, she texted me saying, "I need to get face fucked for an hour." And I replied by saying, "Damn, exams suck." On June 7th, she texts me and says, "I am excited to get fucked borderline domestic violently." At one point in the interview, she states that one time I was angry at my ex-girlfriend, and that the next time we had sex, I was particularly aggressive. This is a very strange thing to accuse me of, given that on October 13th, Rowan says verbatim, "Sometimes I want to fight you just so you be more angry when you fuck me." She clarifies saying, "I do like that though, even without the fighting." So at every opportunity, this girl is publicly saying, "Oh my god, look at all this horrible shit he did to me." And then she's texting me that she wants me to kidnap her, tie her up, and pound her in the woods. And if anyone is putting up any resistance to that, it's me. She once again lies about weird little things in the interview. Like she says that I was her second boyfriend.
He was I guess my second boyfriend.
And when I heard this, I was very confused because she told me that I was her third. In my opinion, she said this to make herself seem less sexually experienced than she really is, to make the case stronger that I was taking advantage of her. Now,
How we feeling, chat? I mean, this is... So far, just, this is not like my conclusion or anything. Just so far, I think old Thomas might be coming out on top. This fills my heart with sadness. For what reason? I will say, just like, objectively, this response is a breath of fresh air. I've rarely seen someone be so, like, lucid and not manipulative and, like, straight to the point, straight to the receipts, keeping everything as factual as possible. Assuming this is all kosher and all of these are like real text messages, like these receipts are doing a pretty good job of bolstering his position.
in this next post, she writes, "Again, I'm not alleging anything illegal, just that he would hit and choke because he was a super gooner. Sort of normalize it in my head, but it's definitely not okay to do that." So for information on how I supposedly normalize this behavior, let's go back to the beginning of our relationship and see what our conversations about sex were like. On Wednesday, May 14th, after only hanging out with Rowan once, she texted me saying she's excited to hang out with me again, and she already knows my penis is massive, without me saying anything sexual to her at this point. So as you might suspect, we did have intercourse on our second date, and after this first sexual encounter, Rowan texts me saying,
I know he's including the texts about his penis being huge on purpose. All right, that's the one manipulative tactic, all right? He's not sliding that one past me.
quote, "Rape thing is so hot. I never did that before. You should tie me up next time." My response to this is, consensual sex is good. And she says, "You know what I meant by that. I don't know what to call it." So from the very first interaction we have, she calls our sex rape for some reason, saying how hot it is, to which I clarify.
Yeah, so kind of a lot of her gist was like, I'm not alleging anything illegal, but he was into like CNC stuff and kind of pushed me into that without me giving express permission. Which this really flies in the face of that, of her like initiating something like that.
That it was consensual, and she says, "I know what you mean." And for the record, I never indulged in her fantasy to be tied up, just not something I was interested in any way.
CNC is consensual, non-consensual. It's a... Google it. Don't Google it. That's all you need to know.
And we also never did anything in the woods, in case you're curious about that. To hammer this point home, let's go over some more texts where Rowan talks about sex. On Friday, May 16th, she texts me asking when I'm free and says that she needs my, quote, big dick. And I say, "Don't say ah." And she says, it is, and I need it. On May 18th, Rowan says she's not used to being with someone with as big of a dick as mine. She says that it hurt her, but she wants to do it again, and she won't be a pussy about it. Some of her public claims about me are more desperate and weird than others. Like she complains that I didn't eat her out.
Like, he never once ate me out, but he would demand that I would constantly suck his dick. And, like, yeah.
But here is a text message of me directly telling her, look, I'm a selfish lover. And she says, it's okay. I like sucking dick more than getting eaten out. I'm a real freak. Despite her acting like I am a sexual degenerate, repeatedly doing sex acts she doesn't enjoy, here she is saying, you match my freak, kind of. Not you're too freaky or we've been too freaky. She says that I match her freak. Here in this next one, she says, I'm getting on my knees as soon as I see you, by the way, freak mode.
I'm
In this
getting a
next one,
brain
I
tumor
give a little
from
bit of
this.
input. I tell her I'm thinking about her pussy. And she responds to me saying, you gonna tear it up or what? Now, my question for you in the audience.
I'm just now mentally processing how explicit of a stream this is. Please get your kids out of the room. Holy goodness. This is ungodly.
Would be, do people who are into slow, romantic, candlelit sex describe intercourse as their pussy getting torn up? I would say probably not. Here in this next one, she says she's going to leave mass early on Sunday to go get some dick. And keep in mind, I don't want to reveal any of this information, okay? I don't want to be saying this. I don't want to be here right now. And I would never intend on sexually shaming an ex-partner. But she's gone out of her way to not only shame me, but also to lie in an effort to paint me as some gooner, freak, borderline rapist. So let's keep going. Here, Rowan makes a post saying that I am a Patrick Bateman gooner because I flexed in the mirror after we had sex. But the strange part about this is that I have a text of her saying, quote, I keep thinking about how hot it was watching myself take your big dick in the mirror. Gooner as fuck, sorry. Reading through what she says about me publicly, it's like every accusation she makes towards me is actually some kind of confession to her own behavior. On June 25th, she texts me wondering if she can give me head after getting her wisdom teeth taken out. She obviously wouldn't be able to do that because it causes your face to swell up like a blimp. And she responds with, I gotta do it as much as...
Was that the...
If she can give me head after getting her wisdom teeth taken out. She obviously wouldn't be able to do that because it causes your face to swell up like a blimp.
Oh, damn.
And she responds with, no, I gotta do it as much as possible before. Here,
Thanks
Rowan's
for the
asking
$2,
me,
trash.
am I the tightest, most perfect girl you ever fucked? On July 2nd, she says, I miss that big dick so much, I'm under spells. On July 5th, I bring up us wearing condoms, and Rowan says, ew, no, and then tells me that she wants me to cream pie her, and that she's a real freak. After I say happy birthday, sweetie, for her 21st, she says that all she wants for her birthday...
Oh. Okay, give me 30 seconds. Let me go purify my mind. Hold on. Stick around. 30 seconds. Okay, here's the deal. All right. I know this is serious subject matter. I might need a small drink to get through this. Just to be real. This is way too much sex talk for me to be comfortable with. It is so much. 1:23? Fuck you. That's not right. I wasn't gone for a minute and 23 seconds. Was I? Damn. Why is everyone spamming big white cock? Stop that. Stop. Stop that right now. What am I drinking? I'm going to craft an old fashioned. I have something in the works. Can I wait? Hold on. Can I pull that off? I have a B cam in the works. I might not be able to pull it off this stream though.
Is my big white cock. In this next one, she texts me saying, I miss feeling like I'm going to break in half, not gonna lie. In this next one, she says, I like when you make me choke on it and call me a good girl. On July 23rd, she says, can I come over and suck on it Friday night? Which I don't accept. I tell her that I'm busy. She then says, I have the big white cock addiction. Interestingly enough, in this next one, she's asking me if I can have sex with her while holding her in the air, essentially, and tells me that I should try to do it. Once again, a pretty bizarre thing to ask someone to do who allegedly has been abusing you for 3 months by now with overly rough sex. On July 21st, she starts off by texting me, I hate gooner men, and then not even 1 minute later, she says, I need that big white cock. On August 23rd, she says, whenever I wake up without my morning Tom face fuck, I am sad. On September 2nd, she expressed...
I'm having a hard time. I'm just like, I've learned entirely too much about Turkey Tom's penis. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's just a lot of detail. It's a lot of detail. In other news. Wait. Okay. I'm debuting some new technology, okay? So this has not been beta tested. This has not been beta tested yet. You seen this shit? Okay. What you think about that? Huh? Bar cam, baby. Look at this. I think it's working. Look at that. Look at that. Hold on. Oh, now the thing's gone. Is it gone? No, I have the audio still. Hold on. Can I add capture device? Nope, that's the same shit. Fuck. Amateur hours back. Hold on. There we go. Make this smaller. See what I'm cooking? See what I'm cooking up? This is you guys are experiencing the live beta test right now. Like, he needs to get into his level of detail to clear his name, but also I hate every minute. This is some Bohemian Grove humiliation ritual. Yeah, it absolutely is. That's why I'm taking a 3-minute cocktail break. I can't listen to Turkey Tom talk about his dick that much longer without a break, okay? So here's what we're doing. Okay? Simple old fashioned, right? I need to get a light on this bar cam, but it's okay for now. All right, you're taking the brown sugar, you're breaking it. I should have a block of ice with this, but I don't have ice in this house yet, unfortunately. Okay, that's Angostura. Gonna mix it with Picards. Then we're doing, I do not currently have any jiggers in the house. So I'm just gonna do 2 shots. which I think these shots are more than an ounce. I'm going to do 2 3/4. All right. Maraschino, healthy amount of the juice. Light stir, not so much that we completely dissolve the sugar cube. We want the sugar cube to be about halfway dissolved. Take our orange. Express it. And then flip it. So express, peel in, and then rim, peel out. 2 diagonal cuts. Put the lip over. And we're good to go. Okay? Everybody follow that? All right, just needed to do that for my own sanity. Let's get back into Turkey Tom. PB&J cam when? Probably not soon.
Expresses that she wished she lived closer to me, but if she did, it would be an issue because she would want to come suck my dick all the time. On September 17th, she sends me an Instagram reel of someone praying the rosary. I don't respond, and she follows up by saying, I miss that dick so much. Here in this next photo, she sends me a picture of her in lingerie with the caption, when it's rape time. And after she said that, all I did was respond with a photo of the movie Just Friends. On Thursday, September 25th at 7:30 a.m., Rowan says, I hope you come. I got something special for our rape times. I say, change that to consensual sexual encounters, and she says, I know. She expands on this particular message and says, are you mad at me? I know it's consensual. So even as we're approaching over 4 months of being together...
A big part of her thing was she was like, he's into rape play, and it was consensual, but it creeped me out. So this also flies in the face of that. I mean, these receipts are cooking so far.
She's still telling me that our sex is consensual and that she likes it. Now that I've gone through a lot of our messages, I think it's pertinent that we get into the month of October. This is the month that Rowan has publicly claimed that there was one specific incident that occurred during which she asked me to stop having sex with her and I did not. To be perfectly clear, this never happened. But just
fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's such a novel experience for me to watch someone respond to allegations and be like, yeah, here's the most important stuff. Here's explicitly whether it happened or not. Fuck yeah. And if he's lying, now he's said it with his full chest, and that can be, that can be investigated in its own right. But he's putting concrete statements on the table, which that's risky to do when you're lying. I'm not saying that to mean he's a 100% like proven or anything. I'm just saying, if he is lying, it's more provable now because he's making explicit statements, which I love that. Cocktail break well played. Facts. You're a clever little one, aren't you?
Asked me to stop having sex with her, and I did not. To be perfectly clear,
thanks for the $10
this never
too.
happened. But just to have some fun, we can go through our texts day by day in this month to see which day this horrific incident could have possibly occurred. On October 2nd, she texted me saying, you are perfect. On October 3rd and 4th, we hung out. She asked me if I got home okay, and she says that I am her formal date in her heart. She then says that she hates when anyone comments on her body, even in a positive way, and I tell her that she should eat slop and go for a walk and not worry about it, and that she is beautiful. On October 8th, she continues being sexual, complimenting my arm. She then resends me a meme that says, me if I do not have violent sex very soon. On October 8th, she also says, I miss my handsome husband. Here, I tell her I landed in Texas. She says, I miss sucking on it. She then texts me saying, you gotta start putting rape time in your reminders. On October 9th, she says that she wants to hang out. I say I arrived.
Okay, so in other words, if all of this is true, the whole rape play thing, she is like huge into. It seems to be like a constant thing, which obviously is pretty interesting to leave out of prior discussions.
On October 10th, she says, let me know when you get back safe. I always have such a fun time with you. On October 14th, she says she wishes she was waking up to me in the morning. And she then expresses sadness that I'm not moving closer to the city where she's from to live near her. She then states that her life has improved since meeting me because previously she was partying and going out, and now she spends time with me. On October 15th, she says, I started my period. I wish I could come suck on it. And that evening, she says, I would kill myself if I had to talk to any other man but you. I say, that's true. I'm a nice guy. And she says, yeah, I'm the bad guy. On October 17th, we've already read this, but this is once again where she says, do you ever go back and watch our videos? And I say, yeah, I do sometimes actually. And she responds to me that she's thinking about that right now and says, quote, need that big white cock. In the mirror, you deadass look like the Hulk compared to me. Now, one thing to note here is that at no point does she express that the videos were taken without her consent. Once again, I just want to have that hammered down here. On October 19th, she texts me saying she needs my milk right now. She then says I miss my perfect jacked boyfriend, and that night she sends me nudes. At 10 p.m., she sends me a photo of a guy with a clock in his hand and says, I need that dick. On October 21st, I sent her a bicep photo. She responds saying, you look good, Tom. I can't wait to suck your dick. She says, I love you. You're a great boyfriend. She then says, you never officially asked me to be your girlfriend, to which I say that we did. On October 23rd, there's proof we hung out that day. She then says, text me when you get home safe, and I say, I made it. She also texted me saying, I love when my bed smells like your musk. On October 24th, she says, good night. You're the best boyfriend ever. October 25th, she sends me a photo of herself in a deer outfit and says, meow, I miss Tom's big white dick. That night, she says, I'm going to send you ass pics tomorrow. On October 26th, we've read this one before, but
I need that as a sound bite.
dick. That night, she sends me a photo of herself in a deer outfit and says, meow, I miss Tom's big white dick.
Meow, I miss Tom's big white dick. I need that as like a Tucker Carlson soundbite. Meow, I miss Tom's big white dick. This just in. Meow, I miss Tom's big white dick.
That night, she says, I'm going to send you ass pics tomorrow. On October 26th, we've read this one before, but here she says, next time during our epic rape time, you can tie me up. I say, you mean consensual sex, and she follows it up by saying, you know what I mean, Tom, rough sex. Once again, these are really weird messages to be sending to someone that you now claim is sexually abusing you on a weekly basis. Now that evening, the evening of October 26th, we can see that I hang out at Rowan's house and I sleep over. Then there's a text that shows that I'm leaving and mentioned that I took my friend to the hospital. On October 27th, she says that she hopes I'm doing well. She loves me so much. On October 30th, she says that we'll be married in 2 years. October 31st at 12:30 in the morning, she texts me and says, I had a nightmare you broke up with me. Oh my God. She then says that I should cut a hole in my Batman suit for my dick. On October 31st in the afternoon, she says, oh Tom, I yearn for the big white cock. On November 1st at 1:20 a.m., she says, up? No good night? I love you? Yeah, it's fucking over. I tell her that I'm falling asleep, and she says, you was madly in love with her and not me. I'm gonna myself. I tell her, good night, I'll see you tomorrow, and I then say, do not say anything like that ever again. Now, for a little more context on this specific message and what she's talking about here, during our entire relationship, she was extremely insecure about the fact that before I was with her, I had lived with a girl, and she wanted me to basically show more commitment in the relationship than I was willing to show, as far as like moving physically closer to her. And at a few points she suggested that we move in together, and I said, you know, it's just too soon, we're not really ready for that. I don't think that makes sense after dating for just a few months to move in together. So that's the context of this. She would constantly bring up shit and compare herself to my ex, or ex-sexual partners in general, but my ex-girlfriend, and I was
Baby Shower Hazard says, oh, just wait. He has an actual recording of her on a phone call saying, I will make it impossible for you to have a relationship again after he broke up with her. If that's true, I mean, fucking one, spoiler alert. But if that's true, that kind of puts the kibosh on this entire thing.
like, don't say stuff like that. Like, I'm dating you right now. Stop worrying about this. So later on in the night, she texts me saying, mass is needed. I am such a sweet girl and have love in my heart for you. I know this. And this carries into the morning where she says, hi, my sweet love. The next day around noon, she says, sorry for being kind of bitchy. Let me know when you're on your way. I say that I have arrived. We take a photo in our Halloween outfits. And on November 2nd, I say that I made it home. And she says that she hopes that I have a good day. So we've now made it through the entire month of October. And there's no indication of any kind of abuse, any kind of mistreatment, or even really anything negative. But almost every single day, she says something about how she loves me, how I'm perfect, how everything is good, and she keeps sending me sexual stuff the entire time without me even asking. At the risk of belaboring the point, I do want to go through a few more messages just for the hell of it, just so I can confidently show that she was extremely sexual the entire time and never expressed any reservations about the sex we were having. On Wednesday, November 5th, out of nowhere, she texts me saying, "I'm trying to make you nut." I just don't respond. On December 12th, she sends me nudes again. Kind of a weird thing to send to someone who apparently has sexual blackmail on you again, is it not? On December 24th, she says that I am a sweetie pie. She's grateful for me. She wants to make me nut again, in her words, and she hopes we're married for a long time. On January 2nd, she sends me a naked photo of herself, again, unprompted. And the morning of January 8th, Rowan texts me saying that before she comes to visit me, she needs to know that my dick is working. Less than 36 hours later, I broke up with her. So as you can see, the texts don't lie. Rowan was blatantly the more sexual one in the relationship. I've produced evidence of this nearly every single week, and she didn't produce any because there isn't any. But apart from the idea that I filmed her without her consent, and apart from the idea that I was a sexually abusive partner, she actually made some other claims as well. So another claim she made is that I encouraged her eating disorder.
Yeah, I told him very early on, like, hey, like, I've struggled with eating.
Pause. Is that the Kiwi Farms guy? Is that the guy that where you're like, oh, you didn't know he's the fucking guy? That man owns Kiwi Farms. That's the Kiwi Farms guy? Okay. No comment. I'm just kidding. He's handsome. I'd never body shame anybody.
Issues in the past, and I'm kind of still trying to gain.
I just like when he was like interviewing two girls and he was like, "Yeah, you guys were both basically raped and abused." Also, what size is Turkey Tom's penis? I want to know. I was like, "Oh, maybe kill yourself actually a little bit. Just a little bit. Not all the way. Not like seriously, but just like a tiny bit." Just an opinion.
Some weight and make sure everything's okay. And he would tell me, oh, I love how skinny you are. I like how small you are. You know, like, I love how your body is like skinny, and like just say all this stuff that was incredibly hard to hear.
This is also a pretty serious claim, and if true, would undoubtedly make me a pretty fucked up guy. But it's just not true. Here, I directly discourage her eating disorder, even giving her advice on gaining weight, and I say starving yourself is very bad for you. In this next screenshot, she says she used to be thick, but she self-nuked. I say you look the same, more or less. I guess you lost some weight, but I think both are attractive. In this next one, she says that she feels skinny fat. I say I don't agree, and I say that working out is good. In this next one, she sends me an image that says, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, and I say that's a sickening image. Now, for those who don't know, this is like it's like a pro-anorexia slogan, I guess you would call it. Here in this next screenshot, she asked me if I'd still like her if she gained weight, and I say yes. Here in this next one, I tell her explicitly she should eat more food and drink protein shakes to gain weight.
Okay, so all right.
Weight, and I also tell her that
Sorry. Basically, that's the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing. That is an orange. What happened? What happened to my stream? Nope, that's hello? Okay. That's what I meant to do. Basically, in my view, as pertains to this girl, I'm not speaking about the other, because he's only really addressed the one girl of the two. But this is the one with the lion's share of the allegations. Basically, here's my view currently. I could delve into this more and uncover other stuff that is like worth exploring, but off the hip, either Turkey Tom's screenshots are fake, which I think is relatively low likelihood, or almost everything that was alleged was projection. That's like, again, I'll do my due diligence. I'll look into this probably a little bit more off stream and then do a full video on it. But like everything she brought up as a red flag, he's brought up as her behavior, and instances of her behavior are far more aggressive. Maddock, thanks for Mad Dog, excuse me, thanks for the $5. Appreciate you. All this over a white boy named Tom. Be so for real.
That gaining weight would be healthy for her, as well as saying, I just want you to be healthy. Here in this next one, I tell her that I find her sexy how she is, but that it could be healthy for her to gain 5 to 10 pounds. So,
sorry, just to touch in with an interesting comment. As someone who has struggled with an eating disorder, he said nothing wrong in those messages. He's 100% seems supporting of her recovering. I agree with that. She's definitely projecting, and I know me personally, I wouldn't even have the energy to come up with that many false screenshots. And then, as far as I'm concerned, the man is totally innocent and got his name dragged through the mud because she's upset that he doesn't want to date her anymore. And it sucks because that's like a thing that real abusers say a lot. But that does appear to be the case to me, in my estimation currently. Again, maybe I come across something else. I don't want, this, just my off the hip reaction to this video to be like, the Sly Boy stamp of approval opinion or anything. But these receipts are pretty thorough. I will say this. It's not unlikely that you're seeing a Sly Boy Turkey Tom is innocent video. Because I feel like at this point, with the level of receipts that he's brought forward, I almost have an obligation to clear his name a little bit. Unless if other things come up that like aren't fully addressed, or there's counter evidence or something that like changes the narrative. But this shit is not looking awesome for the accusers. There could have been an abusive relationship there. However, she does not seem to have been able to take a step back for a couple of months and accurately depict what there were. Your grammar's a little wonky. I'm trying to grapple with that. I like your face, Sly, but I love drawing that orange. Thank you, I think. I think you should wait a bit and see if new info comes out, but for now, accusers sound like crazy exes. I'm certainly not going to make a video that's just like, look at these bitches, look at these whore-ass bitches. You know what I'm saying? That's not, that wouldn't be the vibe I come at this with. But, I mean, this is painting a very, very, very different picture, to the point that, like, the screenshots provided before feel absurdly deceptive. Like, deceptive to the level of absurdity. I realize that's the same thing, but the second time I phrased it sounded a little bit stronger, so I went with that. Did we get to the part where he plays the recording? No, we have not. No, we have not. People keep spoiling that. I can't wait. I mean, that's extremely common for girls to do. Sorry, did someone say slut boy on my stream? Who said that? Martyr, why'd you say that? Was that a typo, or is that supposed to be slut boy? Just a curiosity question. Oh, I've done it again. Yeah, no, I'm aware. I'm aware of that now. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'll rewind. Fuck. So fucking retarded. I need to have the audio at least carry over into the Just Me cam, because that would be slightly less embarrassing. How do I do that? All right, I'm just gonna go full amateur hour and do that right now. macOS screen capture, macOS capture audio. Boom.
5 people. Rowan,
Okay.
Katie,
Okay.
Kai, and another random girl.
All right, and now at least I'm not just like sitting here like a fucking jerk off. All right. That was really rough. That was really rough
I
for
banged
me.
a year ago named Maddie, who for some reason came out in the midst of all of this to post pictures of herself in my house. And all of these people say that I never was into this fetish with them. The closest thing I've ever engaged in when it comes to age play is that sometimes girls do call me daddy during sex. It's a little embarrassing given that I am...
Sorry. If I took a shot each time Tom says big white cock, I'd die. It's actually not a bad idea. Would that be immature to run that?
Me, I accept that it's something people are going to see as a little bit strange. All I can really do at this point is accept that it's something that I've done. And I think that Rowan should accept it about herself, too, given that she also called me daddy during sex and over text repeatedly. In the same vein as this accusation, Rowan stated, "One more thing to add I thought was odd. Never really expressed any interest in Hello Kitty or that type of e-girl stuff, but I had like one Hello Kitty figure in my car. As a gift, Tom bought me Hello Kitty pajamas and a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff." So Rowan essentially wants you to believe that I'm pushing Hello Kitty onto her as if I have some kind of weird fascination with it. But the truth is that I am a 23-year-old man, and I don't give a fuck about Hello Kitty, okay? The only reason I bought her anything Hello Kitty themed at all, which was once, by the way, was because she frequently expressed interest in it. Here she is sending me a photo with a Hello Kitty figurine next to her printer. Here she is sending me a photo with a hand-drawn and colored...
I will say, it's almost comical how many of her allegations are getting turned around on her now. Because one of the ones, which I pointed out in my original video as being absurd to even bring up, was like, oh, he's a slob. Here's a picture of his desk with a pile of Zins with this like disgusting freak. And there was 2 boxes of Zins on his desk, and here she is with a tower. That's pretty funny that shit popped up. He doesn't even address it, but there it is.
A photo with a Hello Kitty figurine next to her printer. Here she is sending me a photo with a hand-drawn and colored Hello Kitty image on her wall. Yeah, she made these herself. Here, in regards to her decorating my room, she says, "No Hello Kitty?" with a frowny face, and I say, "Correct." And
A Lolita poster? Hold on, is this Tom's room or is this her room? That's her. That's her sending that as inspo. The Lolita poster? I don't know. That's interesting.
Something interesting about these texts is that she shows that she has a poster of the movie Lolita on her wall. I wonder what the movie Lolita could possibly be about. This film is about a middle-aged professor who is sexually attracted to adolescent girls he calls nymphets. He rents a room in the house of a young widow to get closer to her 14-year-old daughter, Dolores Hayes Lowe, whom he calls Lolita. Obsessed with the girl, he eventually gains control over her after he takes her cross-country with him. Rowan even says that I should watch this movie, to which I reply that I feel like it's a movie adult men aren't supposed to see. In this next screen...
I actually haven't seen Lolita. That is on my list, actually, of things to watch. I've heard it's actually a masterpiece, but it's like one of those things where you could digest it as sobering, or you could digest it as a fantasy. That's the impression I've got of it, but I have not seen it.
Screenshot, Rowan asks me, if I start dressing like a weird Hello Kitty e-girl, would you still fuck with me? And I replied, no, I don't want you to do that. I find it kind of repulsive.
I've not read the book.
Here,
no.
Rowan is texting me upset that she has to take down all of the Hello Kitties from her dorm room. And this next one is probably the strangest reference to Hello Kitty out of all of them. Here,
It seems like this chick's just like on a self-destructive arc. Because, like, why would you, like, again, I brought up in my video, like, I know a ton of chicks who are into Hello Kitty shit. To bring up, like, oh, he sent me Hello Kitty stuff unprompted, ergo he's a pedophile, was a crazy thing to bring up. You know, I was as sympathetic as possible to these girls in my original video. And even in that video, I was like, that's absurd. That's an absurd point to bring up. But then to find out that, like, provably she is into Hello Kitty. Also, the fucking comment on that. Imagine the rape here.
sending me a video that says, get you a man that takes you to the Hello Kitty hotel. And under it, she writes, imagine the rape here. And I say, I will not imagine. Now, with some of the more insane projections and lies out of the way, I'd like to get into some strange details that Rowan also decided to lie about for whatever reason she may have. One thing that a lot of people pointed out that's strange is that Rowan had taken a photo of us matching on Tinder before we met in person.
Yeah, I took a picture of a match because I could kind of tell there was, like, something weird about this guy. Like, I didn't know if he was famous or whatever. And also, I did that to other people as well on Tinder.
Just like everybody you matched with to like gossip with, like girlfriends.
Yeah, like a couple of them. But yeah, he seemed like kind of weird, so I took pictures of our match.
She's also stated repeatedly that she's not a very online person multiple times throughout her testimony. But the wild thing about this is, Rowan had sent me a message on my YouTube connected Instagram all the way back on February 21st of 2024, 15 months before matching me on Tinder, where she said, you have to do a video on this crazy guy on Twitter who only has like 3,000 followers, but this man is a menace. I even confronted her about this when we first hung out, because I found it very strange that she lied to my face when she first met me and said she didn't know who I was. I said, hey, I looked at our messages on Instagram.
It's so weird. Every single thing, even the frivolous allegations she has against him, he has a counter allegation with more receipts. Which, like, I'm not saying that to be like, oh, he's trying to, like, match her energy. Turkey Tom is innocent. Okay, you can clip that. Okay, if I come across other information that changes my mind, I will correct the record. Turkey Tom is innocent. Because this is textbook projection stuff. Like, she knew that she had been deceptive to him. She probably knew that he was Turkey Tom from the second she found him on Tinder. Pretended not to know. Says she wasn't on the internet a lot. He confronts her about, like, hey, you actually, like, already knew who I was and DM'd me way back when. And so she came up with a story of him doing the equivalent to her. Again, unless if Turkey Tom faked every single screenshot in this video, which I just don't think is at all plausible. This is like heinous false allegations to the highest degree.
Instagram and saw you DM me over a year ago. Rowan said, oops, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell you, but I watched one of your vids a while ago and thought you were cute, but I thought it would be awkward. I responded, that's okay, I was just surprised. She replied, I know I probably look crazy. I said, I mean a little bit, it's okay. I just wish you told me, that's all. She answered, I didn't want to because I thought it would be weird. I'm sorry. Kinda lied about some stuff. I was like a niche internet micro-celebrity on Twitter for a little bit too. I'm chronically online and didn't want to admit it, lol. I've gotten better about it. Once again, this is just another detail that it doesn't even make sense to public.
Also, just from that conversation, her testimony to the fucking king of Kiwi Farms, you know, grace, peace be upon him, that she was like completely offline, wasn't knowledgeable on internet stuff at all, and then her talking to a famous YouTuber being like, yeah, I was kind of sort of a micro celebrity a little bit. I had a tweet that got a decent amount of exposure, so it was kind of a little bit of a micro celebrity.
Lie about, but it's just one of those things that makes me question her intentions throughout the entire relationship looking back. Publicly, she's also misrepresented the end of our relationship.
It's annoying because this type of shit makes people not believe victims. Yeah, absolutely. I think this my impression of this chick is she's kind of the worst of the worst. One you know, among the ranks. Like, so thus far, that's the only conclusion I can come to, because this is heinous shit. And people are like a little reticent to come down hard on these people because they're like, well, what if she actually is telling the truth and like he's like faking all the screenshots? He's like, what, you know, there's something that's going to come out that's going to be stronger in her favor. Believe what your eyes are seeing to a certain extent. Like, this is pretty black and white to me. This is absurd. This is like, there are gray areas. The more he's gotten into this video, the less gray this has seemed. Like, to paint him as a rapist over what has been shared does hurt victims. Like, we should treat people who try and capitalize on the suffering of victims for whatever their fucked up mental reasons for trying to drag someone they have beef with, whatever those reasons are. We should treat those people like scum, because that is a horrible thing to do. And it negatively affects every other victim, especially when you're doing it on a large scale with a person like Turkey Tom, who's obviously like very public.
In the interview, it stated that our breakup took place in December and that after that she realized how bad it was and she felt the need to contact Katie, who we're going to get into later. This is blatantly untrue. We broke up on January 10th of this year, 2026, and she began posting about me on January 14th, literally days later. She says the breakup was kind of mutual, an idea that is just bitterly ironic because that's not the case. Immediately after I told Rowan that I wanted to break up with her, she began threatening to post about me online and even began attempting to blackmail me into having sex with her again.
I don't know what you want me to say to you. I just want to move on from our relationship and have you go be in your corner. You can meet other guys and it'll be fine. I'll go meet other girls. We'll just we'll break up.
Okay. Let's really lock in for this audio. Maeve says, Slyboy, I might be going under the knife in a moment. Okay, holy shit. So I might have to leave. Either way, you are taking this and going about it very well. As a victim, I respect you heavy right now. Going under the knife? What's happening to you? Like, I hope it's not invasive, whatever it is. Or if it is invasive, I hope it's, gonna go well. Holy shit. Okay, prayers up for Maeve. Everybody. Slyboy crew, prayers up for Maeve. Peas in the chat. That's a new thing I'm starting as of just now. Peas in the chat for Maeve. P stands for prayer. That's wild. I'm terminally ill? I'm sorry to hear that. Congratulations. Here's a bunch of P's. P stands for prayer, by the way. I will reiterate for the third time. Big white prayer. Yeah. There you go. Well, God bless. God bless. I'm grateful that you're spending the moments before surgery hanging out with us. I hope that goes well. Please be safe, okay?
To blackmail me into having sex with her again.
I don't know what you want me to say to you. I just want to move on from our relationship and have you go be in your corner. You can meet other guys and it'll be fine. I'll go meet other girls. We'll just we'll break up.
No, you won't, because I'm gonna make it hard for you to ever be in a relationship.
Why?
Because you don't deserve one.
Why?
Because you're a piece of shit.
Why?
Because our whole relationship, you act like everything is all about you the whole time.
Okay.
Turkey tomorrow.
You don't give a fuck. You're just an awful guy, and I'm so sorry that your mom raised you. She seemed like a nice lady, but clearly she did something very wrong.
Okay, Rowan, I just want to move on and have my life, and you'll move on and have your life. And we can be in our own corners. We don't have to do damage to each other. We don't have to cause each other any more anguish, okay?
I just want to see you again, though. Do you think we'll ever be able to see each other?
Holy shit.
After the way these conversations have gone today, I really don't think so.
Why?
Because you're, threatening to blackmail me.
I'm not. Well,
That's
if you don't come
another
see
one.
me, then I will.
I stated blatantly that I did not want to have sex with her. I didn't want to be with her anymore. I just wanted out of the relationship. This is something she was completely unwilling to.
Tom, you gotta stop with the mentally ill e-girls. The moral of the fucking story. Brother. Also, that's another one. That's another one of her being like, he has a blackmail folder. He's gonna try and blackmail me with my nudes or whatever. Where she's explicitly saying she's gonna blackmail him.
To accept. And that's why after I
Fucking
stopped
hell.
talking to her, she proceeded to call me over 30 times and texted me 80 times with no response. She is publicly claiming to be a victim of sexual abuse while begging me to fuck her again.
You've done all this weird shit. I don't like it. You're so weird. You treat me badly, especially during sex. And over the phone, I just listed everything that he had done wrong, and he was like, well, you can leave me if you want. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you. That's basically what happened.
But there was no specific did you guys talk at all between breaking up and then?
Tom and I?
Yeah.
I don't believe so, because I blocked him.
Even this detail is also so insane. While it is true that once she started to lose her mind, I did stop talking to her, she continued speaking at me, alternating between begging me to forgive her for breaking up with her, saying she wanted to have sex with me again, and sending me psychotic text messages filled with lies that she came up with once I dumped her. Now, with Rowan dealt with, the next person I'd like to address is Clorox Katie. Katie's a girl I had a brief sexual relationship with 2 years.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's get into the Katie stuff, but fuck, that was a slam dunk. Holy goodness. Is this the greatest response video of all time? Dude, this has got to be a bad day for everybody who jumped on the bandwagon as soon as the news came out. Fuck, man. so many dudes are gonna get Nick is not greened this week. This is gonna be a reckoning for everyone who just jumped on this like ready for blood. This is like the best response video I've ever seen. Like, he's dismantled everything. Everything. Unless if I'm forgetting something. If I'm forgetting something, I'll like correct the record, but yeah, as a woman, I usually side with the victims, but Tom absolutely cooked here. Yeah, again, like we should like rain hell on people who try and co-opt like a shared victimhood experience for frivolous and selfish reasons, which I will go on record. I think that's what this girl is doing. This girl, Sacramento. The only thing that would change really the math here is if she comes out with other evidence of clear wrongdoing on his part that he can't refute, or if she like proves he was falsifying information. But like everything she alleged against him, she was far worse. Far worse. Someone said, Slyboy, please. Please what? What does it mean to be Nick is not greened? Nick is not green was a YouTuber who came out pretty aggressively in light of some allegations that dropped on a channel called Super Mega, because he had some personal gripes with Super Mega and a close connection to the people who were dropping the allegations. And the allegations were pretty verifiably bullshit, and his reputation took a pretty hard dive because of that. He did own up to it to a certain degree, I do believe. But yeah, that's just kind of a cultural reference point for me.
Ago, and she began posting about me on the same day.
Oh. I've learned. I almost did the same shit. All right.
Rowan. Now, back when we were hanging out, she flew all the way from California to Maine to hang out with me twice. In the interview, she describes her time with me as the worst experience of her life.
And then you fly back, and how did that go? How long did you stay?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
And she also
Fire,
took
thank
to
you for the
forum to
$2.
make some posts
Appreciate you.
about me. Yes, Tom is extremely harsh during sex. I've been down the kink roads in my life, and how he acts is actually just evil and almost sadistic. Not even kinked up, just actually a Patrick Bateman-type gooner. When asked how things between us ended, here is what she had to say. I just truly thought he was a cringe who definitely was going to beat me later if I stayed around. We only had a 2-month fling.
I do still find Tom to be a hypocrite, calling others degenerate when this is his taste in women. I mean, I appreciate you, but I don't think that's something someone would ever say to a woman who dated a man who turned out to be a pedophile, a rapist, an abuser. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just the swapped equivalent. That's my opinion. You know? I'm not saying that in an aggressive way at all towards you, but yeah, I mean, like, if any woman just came out on TikTok right now and was like, my ex-husband was a pedophile, and I found this out, and here's all the red flags that he had before I like confirmed he was, right? Like, everybody would be on her side. People don't really take men's sides when they're like the victim of something crazy like this. I view Tom as a victim in this scenario.
But even my insane ass was scared of how he acted, and he was also just stupid. I hated conversation with him. He was just extremely weird to me and also evil as fuck during sex. Naturally, people asked her why.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, getting sidetracked by chat. Sly, will you ever cover the Scotty Fitness situation? That shit was funny as hell. I will say I lightly saw what was going on there on Twitter, and that shit was really funny. I don't know that I will actually cover it though, but I do know what you're talking about. The gay uncle from Ozark. That shit was pretty funny.
She hadn't reported me to the police. And her response was, I thought about the police and looked into it, but again, it being across my own state lines and in Maine, it would have had to been filed there, and I lived on the opposite side of the country, so it just didn't seem feasible. These claims are once again so absurd to me that the best way to dispel them is to just look through our messages together. In these two DMs, you see that Katie comes to visit me for the first time on January 20th and leaves on January 23rd.
Let's go back to the orange cam.
She says she's excited. She then house the first time.
There you
she
go.
immediately texted me saying, I had so much fun, Tom. You can kidnap me whenever. I feel so alone in my bed. She then says that she has to come back. Now, days after coming the first time, she sends me nudes. Once again, this is kind of a weird thing to send to somebody that you're claiming is recording sex with you without your consent. Why would you send this person nudes? She then sends me nudes a second time, says she needs it, says so starved, so deprived, and she says that she misses me so much. I say, let's hang out in March. She says I'm down, but waiting until March will be so hard. On February 1st, Katie says that she misses me. On February 2nd, she slides up on my story and says she is counting down the days until she can see me again. She then says that she needs to see me ASAP, and she misses all the things about me. On February 4th, she says she wishes that she woke up cuddling me. On February...
Hold on. Dilbert says, oh yeah, Tom is fucked now. His whole persona is making fun of people for being odd. All of his fans are gonna bawl regardless of his innocence here. I don't agree with that at all. I feel like I don't feel like mathematically there could be a better look for Turkey Tom in this situation. Like, if the crime is being into mentally ill e-girls, yeah, but like, did you expect anything else from Turkey Tom, the 23-year-old chronically online kid who came into some fame and fortune off of covering YouTube slop drama? Like, I don't know. I would have assumed that Turkey Tom would be dating these types of girls.
8th, she says she wants to have sex with me again. Once again, this is after the first time we hung out. February 18th, she says she's going to swallow me, and she then sends me naked photos of herself willingly. Keep in mind, once again, she's accusing me of recording sex with her without her consent, and then she keeps sending me naked photos of herself. She even sent me a video, by the way. She says, I need you right meow. I need you ASAP. February 22nd and February 24th, we have I miss you and are you home yet? February 28th, she slides up on my story and says, I'm gonna suck you so good. She then says, I need to see you now more than ever. Lots of hugs and hot sex. On March 2nd, she says, I like you lots. And I reciprocate. She says she can't wait to see me again. She then says that she's excited to see me that coming Saturday. In the next screenshot, I say, your pussy's gonna be so sore. And Katie responds with, good thing we had to wait a while, because then I can take a beating. She then says, I'm ready for you to throw me around. Now, when we were discussing how many days she would want to stay, she says, as long as you want, and that we'll have so much sex and party so hard. And she then once again expresses how excited she is. On March 7th, she sends me a barrage of unsolicited sexual photos, including her with BDSM leather on her butt. On March 8th, she says all she can think about is me.
Gray Fox,
She can't
welcome
wait
to
for my
Inner
dick
Circle.
be down her
Appreciate you.
throat. And on March 10th at 7 in the morning, which is 4 a.m. her time, she says that she is so excited to see me that she can't.
Just hopped in. Does Tom seem innocent? Boy, do I have a show for you. Yes.
Cannot sleep. Now, with the Instagram messages out of the way, we can move on to the text messages. So on March 10th, this is the second visit, right? Prior to getting there, she says that she is starving for me. Now, March 15th, this is when she leaves. She says,
I feel so bad for Tom. This is humiliating. I mean, kind of. I mean, in a way, it's humiliating to have to relitigate like private, sex life type stuff. But also, he's gotten to brag about how his cock is big and white approximately 83 times. And he has not been shy to bring that up.
still have her toothbrush, but that I have to let her come back. Now, keep in mind, Katie, in her own words, said that this second time visiting me was the worst experience of her entire life.
How long did you say?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
She basically describes being physically abused in the interview. She even says that while we were having sex, she would ask me to stop doing something, and I wouldn't. But that did not happen. You may also recall her stating that she ended things with me because I was such an insufferable person to be around. She claims that after the second trip, she began to realize she was a victim.
Yeah, and that's kind of like when things really started piecing together to me that I was like, wait, I think I am a victim right now. Like, something's not right here.
In her words, this is why she stopped talking to me. She says that she was scared of me. She says she was scared that I would beat her. Well, on March 20th, which is after the second visit, she texts me saying, Tom, I really like spending time with you, but I'm kind of worried about if you actually like me or just using me. Lol. I'm just BPDing, and so I'm tweaking and need reassurance. Are you just having fun with me, or do we have something? To which I respond, well, I like you, and I think you're cool, and perhaps we even have something. However, I would make a bad boyfriend, so I don't really want to date anyone officially, I guess. Yeah. I was abundantly clear with my intentions with her. I did not want anything serious at that time. But apparently, this is the period she began to realize the true extent of my abuse, which is probably why after we had already hung out the second time, Katie tries to arrange a third meeting with me, saying she wishes that she was in Ohio, where I was at the time, and I did not reciprocate. After this proposition, she slid up on my Instagram story 12 times over the next 10 months, and I did not slide up on her story once, not a single time. So ask yourself, do these texts sound like a girl texting a guy that she finds evil and sadistic, a guy that she was even debating going to the police about? Because to me, it seems crystal clear that she enjoyed our time together and even wanted to hang out a third time. You gotta keep in mind here, she flew across the entire North American continent twice, from California to Maine to see me. After the second time, she wanted me to be her boyfriend. I didn't want to, and she then repeatedly made efforts to contact me and hang out with me again. Now, to close off the video, I think I'd like to share some interesting texts that Rowan sent me about her dear friend Katie, as they're both accusing me of, I mean, whatever
Rape.
it is they're even trying
Rape
to say.
is
at
what
this
they're
point.
accusing you
After
of.
she saw that I was following Katie on Instagram, she messaged me on December 8th saying, did you know Clorox Katie tried to fuck Jet Neptune? Those girls, too, make themselves easy targets with the hair and piercings because they have sexual trauma. She then says, they complain about sexual assault a lot because they will fuck anything that breathes. 1 month and 2 days later, I broke up with Rowan, and in the middle of her unhinged tirade about me, she told me that she would be messaging as many girls I had been with as possible to try and find whatever dirt she could so that she could run to the internet about it. Now, I've seen a lot of people say things to the effect of, you know, Tom's a hypocrite. He gooned. And you're right. I did goon. Okay? I did not stop gooning. So maybe in the end, the hats are more relevant than ever.
Got 'em.
Anyway, that's about it. I've said everything I need to. Goodbye.
No notes, man. I mean, did we miss anything? "41 minutes of Tom bragging about his giant hog." This might be the greatest response video of all time. That shit was just nonstop receipts. I love to see that. I can't tell you how many times I've gone over a response video that are just fucking platitude after, well, I understand some people are concerned and offended, but my intentions were never to hurt anybody. Blah, blah, blah. Like, this shit was fucking clean, man. See if anybody said anything noteworthy to my tweet. Stream was huge. Thank you. Slyboy, your vids make me ovulate. And I'm a cishet Polak. Okay. All right. Okay. Sure. Right then. Well, that's Turkey Tom. So somebody said earlier that the women in question said that they had seen the response video and they were going to make a counter response. Is that true? Does anybody have the plug on that? Where do I find these ladies? Orange o'clock? I could get tempted into orange o'clock if you really beg for it. Bottom line, orange. Oh, Clancy's got me. Clancy's always got me. I fucking love Clancy. I appreciate you, brother. You've been so supportive. Basically my entire career. Short as it is. It's coming Friday, the response? It's oddly specific. It's Monday. That's kind of weird. Pack watch for Turkey Tom, night rate Tom, you can't hide and lie. Okay, what's the... Okay, let me pull that IG up. Instagram.com. Clorox Katie. And account is privated. Which is new. That was not the case the last time I went there when I was looking at researching the last video. Interesting. Nico Girls Time. Fuck you. Let's see. Let's get the pulse of the internet here. Oh. Brandon is tuning in? What the fuck? Damn, dude, you still alive? Hell yeah. My boy Brandon is still alive. And he apparently has time to tune in on the Turkey Tom shit. Brandon Buckingham says, for 3 weeks straight, this girl has been publicly claiming that my roommate, Turkey Tom... Wait, what? I did not know they were roommates. And they were roommates. That's a crazy lore drop. I just was not aware of that at all. Has been sexually/physically abusive, non-consensually filmed sexual encounters, encouraged her eating disorder, along with an absurd amount of other blatantly false claims in her sick attempt to ruin Tom's life. She also brought up my wife and daughter and implied he was a danger to my child. I did not catch that one. Since she wants to post about my family publicly on Kiwi Farms, here is her public LinkedIn profile. Damn. Holy shit. Brandon is not playing around. Also, Aberrant, if that's how to say your name. Welcome to the Inner Circle. Appreciate you. Holy fuck. Oh, there's Clancy himself. Clancy, there you are, my guy. Looks like my suspicion of this person knowing who Turkey Tom was offhand was correct. Yeah. I mean, we all said that. That was pretty apparent. Oh, look at, there's me. I'm gonna give that one a like. I'm gonna give that one a hot little like. Diorio commenting on this. Clout whore. That's a little aggressive. For attempting to dox an offline woman Diorio visited in VidCon. Oh my gosh. Turkey Tom's ex attempted to dox an offline person I attended VidCon with in 2025. This was not done because she must have known something, quote unquote, and she wanted us to suffer. Oh, excuse me. I'm so bad at reading. This was done. Was not done. This was done because she, quote unquote, must have known something, and she wanted us to suffer for simply knowing Tom. This worthless B word, I would never say that word, gets no sympathy from me. I ran to Kiwi Farms to warn women about my ex who dumped me. I feel like attempting to dox an innocent woman because you're a clout W word kind of fucks your narrative. Yeah, this shit is not looking good for the accuser. I will say, did not address the sucking Destiny's dick allegations. I'll say that. Probably shouldn't have. Those were very frivolous, but still. Did Brandon make a video?
I felt like I was decomposing. The police showed up, and my roommate Turkey Tom answered the door and led them to my room, where they found me in bed, completely delirious. My feet were extremely swollen. I was totally deaf in both my...
Oh, that was just a previous situation. I had no idea those dudes were roommates. Crash out again about the Turkey Tom allegations. Who takes screenshots of people they match with on Tinder? The accuser claims Tom hid his channel from her, implying she didn't know him. So what was the need for the screenshot? Yeah, I mean that's what we were all saying from the beginning. Oh, the other girl, the like third player in lobby who just chimed in. What did she do? This was the one he just had like a one-night stand with, basically. Anyway, it just feels like some drama. Well, I mean, that's that. Thank you for the $5. Please watch Nico Girls. Okay, we'll watch Nico Girls. Holy fuck. I came for Turkey Tom, but stayed for the Sly Stash. Okay, so I think Sly Stash stays, because now someone's put money on the stash. It has investors now. So Sly Stash is here to stay until someone donates more than $5 in the opposite party's camp, in the anti-Slyboy Stash camp. All right, I'm just gonna follow the money with that one, and I'll stand by that. I'm a man of my word. If someone donates more than $5,
I'm sorry.
Sly Stash goes away. Okay, that's That's how little I give a fuck about my appearance. Anyway. I'm not going to do the mutton chops thing, okay? Going to leave that to Schlepp. Not Schlepp, Jay Schlapp. Oh, fuck. I didn't expect it to be that soon. Okay. Okay, what do you want me? Do you want me to whore myself out? Should I just get rid of it right now? Hold on. I should have thought about the I should have thought about the ramifications of this before committing to this bit. Shave on stream? All right. I want to piss, though, first. So give me 30 seconds. I know someone's going to time me, so go ahead. Knock yourself out. Actually, hold on. Because I know streaming works better if I just play some shit, I'm going to do the classic. This is my friend Poet. He's at 8K subscribers now. Hell yeah. I'm going to play his bread taste video just to give the masses something to watch in the meantime while I'm pissing and getting my razor.
Brad Tasted Music is the reason my channel got off the ground. When he reacted to my prank video
Hold on.
live, it got me.
Pause. No, keep it. Oh my gosh. Checkmate, liberals. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm saved. I'm glad, because I really did not want to shave this shit. All right. Still give me 30 seconds.
My first 2,000 subscribers and got my channel monetized. That was the first time I think I've ever felt like I was making something on YouTube that mattered. Brad's career is a textbook example of what happens when internet fame and parasocial intimacy collide in a highly publicized manner. Brad's career is living proof that you can only pretend for so long. Sooner or later, the person that you are offline becomes content. Play like the BoJack Horseman theme song, the I wouldn't consider myself a slop tuber or a drama tuber, bread tuber, or really a YouTuber. I mean, have you guys seen my channel size? I think it's like, I don't know, 6K is like average size, right? You guys tell me that that's an average size. A lot of what I talk about on this channel is music because, shocker, I'm a musician. You should also go stream my new single. And as a musician, you are integrated with this sort of music commentary content from all of your platforms that you use all at once. It gets pretty annoying. When I was 19, I stumbled onto a bald-headed fuck whose scalp has more gloss than his vinyl collection, but you might know him as the Needle Drop. With a dome globe that got more screen time than his actual opinions. I was mesmerized, no, hypnotized.
Okay, well, I helped. Oh, kill yourself. What the fuck? 21. Okay. Well, now I gotta go get the razor again. Damn it. Okay. Here we go. Sick Corvette T. Friend of mine has a 2021 and 1959. Oh, that's amazing. Love that. I'm actually Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is about 45 minutes from me, is like the Corvette epicenter. There's actually a girl who's about 50 years old who goes to my church who used to be a model for Corvette, and she never got a cent out of them. They just pay her in cars. Baddest bitch I know. Keep the stash, streamer man. Well, I want to keep the stash, and I want to respect your contribution, but someone... Oh, wait, no. Someone did 22. We're safe. We're safe. Okay. Stash is safe. So 22, and so I'll count your 5 towards that. And I'm going to say we're 27. Okay. We're 27. All right. I'm not trying to milk you guys. I promise. All right. You guys pushed me into this. Peak background. I know. Thank you. Add up all of them. Doesn't the math work out the same if I just add up the highest? No, I guess that's so much math though. Okay, so see, I don't have any Asians on the payroll. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't do that math. I think you did the math for me? Who did the math for me? Mariah? Where's that? Okay. We're going to take Mariah's word for it. 53 for stash, 41 for shave. 53 stash. Oh, I can't type. 41 shave. All right, we just got to keep that updated. Not that you guys are fine. You don't need to keep donating. You've donated plenty. How much to shave your head? 10,000 for the head. Count this to save the stash. Okay. Wait, hold on. That's Canadian dollars. That's probably cheating, right? Canadian to USD. Oh, that complicates things. 366. So 666. Fuck, dude, my credit limit doesn't go that high. Then you probably shouldn't be that invested in my body hair. I hate to tell you. If your credit limit isn't over 10K, you probably shouldn't be donating anything in relation to my my body hair. Nightshade, appreciate you. Okay, as promised. As promised. Because I have a gay-ass community. Nico girls? Does anybody know what episode I'm on? I felt like I was... It doesn't say that I watched this, but I felt like we definitely got to like 3 or 4. Holy Clancy, what the hell, dude? Clancy. Brother. Fucking shit. Okay. So, okay, thank you. I was going to tip anyway, and now I'm tipping to keep the stash. Thank you. Appreciate you. Mick Angmar. Okay. So, for the stash, now we have, I cannot do math, 56. I think that's correct. And then 55. Somebody tell me what to put in there with Clancy's obscene donation. Absolutely obscene. Absolute freak. What is that? Okay, 111.666. All right. Clancy's trying to slap his dick down on the table. Fucking hell. Wait, stop. Okay, I'm trying to keep track. Wait. 56. Just keep it daddy. That's, I can't, I'm not cut out for this. Thank you, Jess. Clancy's a member for 4 months now. That does mean something. Somebody, quick. 56 plus 56. What's that? Is that right? 112? 112? Okay. And 136 is correct on the shave, right? Fucking hell. Clancy's a freak. Okay, that's another. Guys, if I can request something. Just unplugged my fucking shit. If I can request something, just like keep it easy math, at least. All right. Don't be dropping them $13.38 type shit. Okay. I failed most of school. Okay, so. Okay. Guys, I feel bad because I feel like I'm milking this. I'm not trying to milk it. You guys don't have to be in a whole thing, all right? So I'm going to keep it at that. All right, I'm going to keep it at that. This math is correct, right? All right, some Asian will let me know. I'm going to do I'll do one of these real quick, and then we'll hit Nico Girls. Apologies to anyone who's just tuning in for Turkey Tom stuff. What am I rocking with? Let me see. Okay, I'm going to go a little off script here. Okay, this is... Trying to get that without spilling it. Yeah, the focus is not amazing. Armagnac. I'm just going to hip fire a little bit of Armagnac. A little bit of rye. Again, I think I need a light on this thing. A little bit of rye. And then, shit, what are we gonna try? Campari? Maybe? Is that the vibe? Do I have anything else? Is Campari gonna be weird in this? All right, fuck it. And a small dash of Campari. All right. I kind of have a dearth of ice in this location right now. Hold on. I think Barcamp fucked up. We're touching with the crew again. Shit, we got more. Fuck, wait, guys. What the fuck? I looked away for too long. As a bearded professional, I support facial hair in all forms. Brother, you did not have to donate that much money. That's an absurd amount of money, man. What the hell, dude? I mean, thank you, but... Holy shit, what the fuck? I swear, the stash thing was organic. I was not trying to just milk you guys. It was honestly a fun thing just because I was like, I don't actually care that much. 101. Okay. Bro bought Bitcoin in 2020, in 2010. Wait, okay. Okay, Mariah has proven to be a trusted individual. 213.89 stash. So I'm gonna trust that. 213.89. And what'd she say the non-stash was? Uh, 126. I mean, like genuinely, everybody. That's extremely gracious. You guys did not need to do all that. Anyway. Also, I think is my bar cam fucked up? Hold on. Was that not correctly showing things? Oh, it is. But someone was right. I just need to zoom in. Oh yeah. Fuck. That's been fucking up. Although I think, was it OBS that's fucking up? Hold on. Oh, I think it was OBS that was fucking up. It's not the actual camera. Hold on. Yep. Sorry about that. That must have been terribly uninteresting content. There we go. That's a little cleaner. Oh, Clancy, what the fuck, brother? Thank you, man. 50 subs. Okay, so I guess I'll count that as 50 towards the thingy for whatever it's worth. So I can do that math. That's 70. 176. But, you know, regardless of the stash thing, thank you, brother. You've always been so supportive, man. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Okay, someone will let me know if something important happens, but for the time being, all right, we're going to get into the Nico Girls thing to cap this night off. Let me finish this concoction, okay? So, back over here. I feel so bad that shit was fucked up. Okay, now you can see shit. I don't know why OBS fucked me again. It seems to do that constantly. So this was this Armagnac, this Armagnac is my new best friend. I love this thing so much. Then we were doing rye, and I put in Campari. I put in equal parts of the Armagnac and the rye, A little shy on the Campari. This thing might be a little bit of a nightmare. Okay, that went down the wrong hole. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I slightly fucked that up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do. Oh, the mic's all the way over there, but 2 for keep the stash. Bet? All right. Okay. Nico Girls incoming. Until then, here's what we're gonna do to compensate for this piece of shit. Pellini, Limoncello. Very simple drink. This is roughly an ounce, I think. Down here. Tonic water. And we're just going 50-50. That's the whole thing. Now, I will say, I already fucked this up because I was supposed to do something before that. Okay. So let me acquire that, and then I'll run back to chat in case I missed anything. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. What I was supposed to do was muddle fresh basil into the glass before doing anything. I jumped the gun on it. So I'm just gonna kind of distress it a little bit. And I'm just gonna kind of essence the glass with that. I'm just gonna throw all that stuff in there. And I'm telling you, fresh basil is one of the most incredible things you will ever experience in your life. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, we good? I think we're good. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Perfect. Slyboy, rate Turkey Tom's response vid. Honestly, I think it's a 10 out of 10. I don't think he was trying to portray himself as perfect, but I think every single thing that was seriously alleged, he counteracted perfectly with full receipts, full evidence. I think this is one of the cleanest, most factual, well-represented responses I've ever seen. Again, as I said before, someone would have to really, really give me some incredibly solid counter points, not counter arguments, counter evidence to dissuade me from my view that Turkey Tom is innocent at this point. This was a huge W stream. I'm glad you think that. 8 out of 10, too much big white cock. White boy problems, baby. White boy problems, you know? Type of problems, suffering from success, even. Just wait till I get paid. I'll be back. This isn't the last obscene of me. Okay, bet. Clancy with the hot links in chat. What's the video you just dropped, Clancy? Can you pitch it to me before I just randomly click on that? Yeah, you've kind of turned the chat against you because everybody wants Nico girls like really badly. Oh, mustache is 215, and shave is shave isn't 176. Someone. No, actually, you might be right. I think that was. Yeah, I think you are right. Okay. Okay, shut up and put on Nico girls. All right, damn. Y'all are a bunch of fucking toddlers. For real. This is my first time joining y'all. Definitely not my last. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. I need to... I tell you guys, I love streaming. I really, really love it. It is, by a pretty large margin, the least profitable use of my time currently, because YouTube does not really compensate streaming very well. Along those lines, now that I'm in the Sly Palace, the new place, I will start multicasting to Twitch, probably the next stream that happens, because I got to start. I mean, obviously, actually, tonight was obviously very profitable. Someone donated $101.23. Sorry, not just someone. Spooky Nerdy Skeleton did. But on a normal night, I'll stream for like 6 hours, and like YouTube hardly monetizes that. But I really, 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 really like doing it. So the goal moving into the new year is going to be making that a more profitable venture across the board. And I'm going to like invest in ways to make that happen. So you'll be seeing more of me. Hey, you made like $400 of mustache money. Yeah. No, that was unexpected though. And I appreciate it. Yeah, I guess if I just like whore out my mustache every single stream, maybe that could be super profitable. I don't know. Sly, do you like candy? I'll email you candy. Not a big candy guy, and also I don't know how you would pull that off digitally. Okay. I need the regular viewers to tap in for a second. For whatever reason, it doesn't remember which episodes I've watched. Does anybody know what the most recent Nico Girls episode is? Episode 5? Okay. Episode 4? Some people are saying 4, some people are saying 5. You had a playlist? No, I didn't have a playlist of Nico Girls. What the fuck is this? That's kind of hard to explain, my guy. 5. Everyone's saying 5. Okay. Team meeting. Here's the thing. This stream is titled Turkey Tom responds. Okay? We're well beyond that point right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end stream. All right? One, because people don't want to tune into a Turkey Tom allegation stream and get sexually assaulted by Nico girls. And then also, just because the Nico girls stuff will DMCA the entire stream. I'm going to end stream. I'm going to wait 1 minute and 30 seconds, and then I'm going to start a new stream just for the Nico girls. All right? And everyone's happy at that point. Okay? Okay? So, if you were looking for an off-ramp to the stream, here it is. Okay? I'll see you in 1 minute and 30 seconds if you want to hang around.